Let's continue looking at Godot, this time with C Sharp. Alright, welcome to the second episode over here for trying Godot. And in this episode, we're first of all going to take a look at the C Sharp side of Godot. So for this, last time I get the error message about the project not being able to initialize in C Sharp because I didn't have the .NET SDK installed. So to do this, if you have the Visual Studio installer actually, you can simply open that, click the modify button over here, and then you want the .NET desktop environment, and that should in theory install everything. So from all I've heard, we just basically need the development tools, but I'm just going to keep it like that, even though most of the stuff I'm probably not going to need, but we're just going to say modify over here, and that's going to, well, it's going to download all sorts of other things, update Visual Studio as well. So let's just let that run through and see what we can see after it's done. All right, so we are done over here, and I would say let's just try it out. So let's just create a new script right here. Let's go for C Sharp over here, and then let's call this the player movement, and hopefully it's going to work. Maybe we need a restart. Okay, we probably need a restart. That's going to be fine. Let's just get rid of that again, and let's restart the engine. All right, restart it. Let's take a look if it works right now. So that's going to be C Sharp again, player movement. There we go, and now we have everything set up properly. There we freaking go. All right, so now we have a C Sharp script, and the question over here is that, are we getting any help? We are not getting any help. I think that we probably have to take a look at that. I'm basically just not getting any IntelliSense or suggestions, so I think that that's going to be a thing for Google. So looking at this, this might be an issue with the inbuilt script editor. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to do this with an external editor. So we're just going to try Visual Studio over here, because why the frick not? Because I do have that. So if I double click this, it's going to open in Visual Studio. It does actually. Wait a second. Oh no, it's opening 3 times now. That's not good. All right, so here we are, and let's take a look. Can we do stuff now? We can. That is what you want to see. Can I do self over here? I can't do self, but then now the question is if this is now changed a little bit, where maybe self is no longer an actual thing. Can I also look into the node over here? Like, oh, look at this. This is crazy talk. Okay, so now if, does print still work? It does not seem to. So a simple thing, once again, to get access to everything, you want the global functions GD over here, and now you have access to, I think, everything. So we have the print. The question is, how do we get self though? That is the big question. So GD, let's do first of all GD print, and we'll do hello again. Over here, of course, this is C Sharp, so we need to end with a semicolon. And let's take a look over here how that's going to be affecting that, because it doesn't seem to be reloading it. But okay, let's just add the, oh, we don't want to add the scene. Wait a second, this is kind of weird. So for some reason, the script is still saved, which is very interesting to me. I want to clear this, and I want to add the C Sharp script over here now. Let's go back to the scene, and let me start. Let me see what is going to happen. Building.NET project, all right. And hello, so we're still getting an output from the C Sharp over here, so that works totally fine. In the process, then the question is if we can still call stuff. So we can, for example, say if input dot, I mean, look at this. This is like, I've never been, this is all, it feels like I'm in Unity right now. I will say that this is pretty freaking cool. So we can just WASD, and from what I've read, this is no longer print, this is no longer self, but this is actually this. In this case, apparently, because it's a partial class, it doesn't apply to the class itself, but it applies to the node that it is attached to. So this is the reason why it's probably a partial class, and this is why this keyword works. So that's actually pretty freaking cool. Very well done. So now can I get the transform? I, for some reason, can still not get the transform how I want it to. This is kind of, it is unusual. It is weird. Well, let's see. So the setting and the getting is just going to get me. So if I do get, this is just going to get me a property here in this case. That's not what I want, I'm pretty sure. I just thought maybe we wouldn't print out the transform and the position. If there's nothing there, then we're just going to get a null over here. So let's just take a look at this. So, okay, it seems like both of them are actually null. That's interesting. So maybe it is going to be transform and position lowercase. See, that looks a little bit better, I would say. So that definitely gets it. However, then the question is if I can then also set it like that. So that would be the question. So if I do set transform dot, and then I get the current transform, and I do translate it. Oh, yes, exactly. So I want to put this in transform 2D, and then I get this as a translated with vector2.up, the question is, would this not work? And the question is this the correct way to do it? Well, I don't know, but let's just see if it even works. That works. Absolutely. Awesome. Okay, I struggled a little bit to find out how I can like even set and get specific things. And while I'm not 100% sure if this is the correct way or not, it's definitely going to work for the time being. So this is going to be the down. And this is going to be, oh, sorry, this is down actually. This is left. And this is going to be right. Get rid of the print right here. And now I should be able to easily, if I reload this, to once again move about over here. And indeed I am. That's pretty cool. So now the question is, let's take a look at something else just for the sake of argument over here. All right, can I, does this immediately work if I do a times 0.1? That does work. So a vector can actually work with a scalar. So what I could now do, I mean, just in theory, once again, this is just me playing around. So this could be a speed metadata right here, right? So I can just change this to like, I don't know, 1.5 over here. And now the question is, how can I get this? Well, I can get this apparently via the metadata/speed. Is there like a metadata thing? Get metadata. There is. Get meta. So this is probably going to be the variant over here. Awesome. So this is called speed, and I want to get this as a float. So I'm going to get this as a floating point number right here. And we're just going to get this under, let's just get it here. Yeah, that's fine. We're just going to get it like this. And now if I'm understanding this correctly, yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. And then here I want to do the same. Exactly. Okay, we can make this a little bit easier. We're just going to make a method for this. Move towards getting one of those set methods. And this is going to be the vector2 direction. I'm going to get this over here. And then instead of all of this craziness, we're just going to call this with a direction because that's all going to be the same. There you freaking go. That's going to look a little bit nicer. This is now going to be up. This is going to be left. This is going to be down, and right is already done. That's a little bit cleaner. So let's take a look now after we are done doing this. So if we get the speed metadata over here, we should now be moving faster. Let's take a look. Okay, and if I change it, right, am I then moving faster immediately? I am. Look at that. So that is pretty cool. That's pretty nice. I also figured out how we can change the icon over here, and that happens in the project settings over here. And that is going to be under rendering textures. And we want to change the linear to nearest. And all of a sudden, bam, we got a nice texture, crisp. And look at this. Look at this. I'm zooming about. That's pretty awesome. So when I change the metadata over here, that apparently also affects it after I am out of play mode. That's totally fine. At least I know that now. And that's pretty cool. So overall, right now, looking at the C Sharp script right here, how this works, and obviously there's going to be a lot of growing pains through this because, I mean, it's not going to be the exact same thing that it is in Unity. But to be honest with you, if I look at this code, right, this isn't anything that I can't understand pretty quickly. Once again, as we move into any advanced topics, this is for sure going to change. But right now, at this point, right, with the G script as well as the C Sharp side of it, from sort of the first hour of looking at Godot, my conclusion is that you can definitely work with this if you spend the time. And to be fair, just looking at a couple of tutorials, I think is going to teach you most of this. So far, everything is pretty intuitive in my opinion. We'll take a look at a few more things, probably trying to replicate some of the things that I've done in my previous Unity tutorials. We're going to do that in the next videos. So if you're here for that, don't forget to subscribe, or you can already take a look at the video right here. And I will also add another video on screen that's going to be of a different engine, a similar type of a look at process. Hope to see you in one of those videos. So, yeah.